we're back. This is Ronnie.
Kyle.
We're here for Project Speed. Today we're going to talk about landing. Landing is quite possibly the most important thing we can talk about. A lot of injuries occur on the field because of faulty mechanics. So we need to really be aware of what's going on, what to expect, and how to do it correctly and safely. So Kyle, what are we looking for when we land?
We want to make sure that we absorb the forces from the ground, meaning that as we're landing, we're going to land with our whole foot. We're going to send our hips quickly back and down, using our posterior muscles to help us absorb that contact.
When we land, guys, don't get it misconstrued. We don't want you to necessarily land strictly on your heels. There's this rolling landing that happens. So you're going to make contact with the forefoot, front part of your foot, and then you're just going to finish with your whole foot on the ground. And as that happens, your hips are going to go back, and that's when you absorb those forces. What are we looking for in the knees? Are the knees going to be in, out? What do we expect? What do we want with our knees?
Just making sure they're right over our toes, they're not caving in, making sure they're right over our toes.
And that is a very critical aspect to this. When we land with our knees, valgus, we call them, when the knees are in collapse, that puts a lot of stress on those ligaments, on the MCL, the ACL, and that's where a lot of non-contact injuries occur. Guess what? If you have faulty mechanics, chances are you have very faulty change of direction mechanics, planting mechanics, and over the course of a career, you're at a higher risk of injury. So there you go. Before we go into some demos, make sure you follow us at @Project Speed for pop-up camp information and just to see what we're up to. And then we also have this awesome newsletter. Kyle, where can we get into that?
DAProjectspeed.com, 3 free workouts a week.
Boom, there you go. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to go through some steps in our progression that talks about landing. So the first step here is making sure that our athletes understand where they want to finish. So we're starting tall. Notice their whole foot stays on the ground. Kyle, what do you like about this drill?
Making sure that we teach athletes how to load properly, loading our hamstring, feeling tension on our backside there.
And then from here, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to ask our athletes to leave the ground. Just keep your eyes on their feet. Notice how now they're leaving the ground and we're reinforcing landing on their whole foot, okay? It's a very controlled setting, very easy for them to get the hang of how to land with their hips back. So as we go through this, we want to make sure the athletes are doing a really good job of understanding the positions before we move on to the next thing. Very, very important, athletes understand landing with their hips back, like we mentioned, loading the glutes and the hammies. So what's happening here, Kyle?
Good. This is where we're going to put everything together. I'm going to load my hips, jump, full extend. A good cue is to try and tell your athletes to hit your head on the ceiling to get the full extension and then land in that good finished position.
There we go. All right, guys, so Kyle here is demoing the tuck jump. This is a great screener exercise because it allows us in a controlled environment to notice if knees are in the right position when we leave and land the ground. This is great for beginning athletes, younger athletes, especially female athletes who are most at risk of knee issues on the field. So just make sure athletes are showing proficiency and good control of those earlier exercises before you start incorporating something like this. Kyle, what else are we looking for?
Okay, so we are looking for bringing our knees to our chest, and as I'm in the air, I'm going to reload my hands in that jumping position. So as my feet land, I'm able to jump in that good optimal position and have short ground contact time.
There you go, guys.